Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
So SmackDown, what's that new thing we were going to start doing last week? I think we started talking about it when I forget the name of it. Was it Severin, the cornerback, the rookie cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks, former Oklahoma State Cowboy, who is now a former Seattle Seahawk after being let go by the team for, what was it that he did? He brought in a booty call to the team hotel and dressed her up like a Seahawks player.
Can you not do that?
In order to try to disguise it. Well, I think it's frowned upon under normal training camp circumstances, but in the during the coronavirus pandemic, that is an ultimate no-no. So what was it that we called? What did we call him last week? What was it?
It's our new halftime dumbass of the week.
Now, I mean, I never get into this stuff the first segment of the show, but then again, I don't know if I've ever heard more of a dumbass moment on television or radio than what I heard last night. Now, I wasn't watching this Reds Royals doubleheader telecast in which Tom Brenneman, long-time baseball, football broadcaster, been 14 years with the Reds. His father, Marty, is one of the all-time great radio broadcasters in the history of the sport. And last night utters a homophobic slur, not realizing he's on the air. Used the F word, which I'm not going to throw out here. Now, I don't know what city he was talking about, but he referred to whatever city that he was talking about, and he thought he was off the air as the F capital of the world, and said it with, well, I mean, you really can't use that F word without there being, some hate behind it.
He's definitely used it before.
Well, certainly the way
that's what's like Pablo Torre from. I know I mispronounced his name, but off like ESPN we'll play the apology here in a little bit, but like you don't just automatically like, oh, I didn't mean to say that out loud. You don't just accidentally say something like that.
No, you don't. The accident is the producer having the microphone on.
Yes.
So, yeah, Matty, that's you, Matty T. He's very good at making sure the microphones are off and saying stupid things during commercial breaks. But I will say that none of us have said anything quite like Brenneman said on the air yesterday. This was the ultimate Jim Brockmeyer moment. I think since I forget the name of the Texas Rangers announcer who kind of had an episode during a live broadcast a few years ago.
I remember that.
Yeah, and started talking about. He started just uttering things that made absolutely no sense, and lost his job because of it. But that was an instance of either having a little too much to drink or medication interacting in a certain way. And I just think that guy with the Rangers, he didn't know what he was saying. Tom Brenneman knew exactly what he was saying yesterday when he, says a word that if you said it during the actual broadcast, but you would immediately know at that moment you better put the headset down and walk off, because that's the last thing you're ever going to say on that broadcast. But with the hot mic moment, you had no idea he was on the air. And hey, I mean, I've been there before. Today's National Radio Day, by the way. So there's probably nobody that's worked in radio or television, really, that has never had an embarrassing hot mic moment. Like, I've had my share. I've been in radio for 21 years. I've had my share of embarrassing hot mic moments. But nothing at the level that what happened with Tom Brenneman yesterday. Nothing. Have you ever had a hot mic moment, SmackDown, Matty T?
Oh, absolutely. I used to the show I used to produce at a different place, I would walk in the studio after the morning show, and their producer was notorious for just leaving the microphone on because he was done and now he didn't care. And so I'd walk in, I'd just be holding court, telling dirty jokes, and realize that there's a mic on the whole time. Fortunately, though, usually the commercials are up loud enough that you can't make out the stuff that's being said. But I've made a mistake once. But the thing is, though, early on in my career, I did it, and I actually, for a year, put a note on the microphone that says "turn the mics off." And
attaboy.
So, and I also got to where I would pull the pots down instead of push the button and pull them down to like a double safety. That's a little detailed, but yeah.
So knock on wood, I haven't had a hot mic on the radio per se, but there was
coming today.
I'm sure it's
I'm gonna secretly leave your microphone on.
But when we were in college, thank God, this was in college and it wasn't like at a big television station, but during an episode of Tech TV at Arkansas Tech, we were doing our big Friday
sports show. We were previewing all the high school games coming up, having a big old time. And off in the distance, I was talking about my BB Badgers are playing in a homecoming game against Pulaski Academy. And so I heard somebody, I had a headset in my ear of like when to go to break and all that. And I heard somebody off in the offset like BB sucks, or they probably said some explicit somewhere in there. I proceeded to give them the double bird before we were off when I thought we were in commercial. And then I look over at the monitor, and you see me right on camera just go, flip.
I think that would be called a hot camera moment.
Yeah, it was a hot camera moment. So
we did have some hot audio here.
We
had too many sources on our video stream. We fixed it now, though. Sorry about that.
So we've already had – see, there's our hot mic moment. Yeah. There we go.
It was so I'll detail my own hot mic moment, and it's happened a couple of times, and it's been a long time since because I've learned my lesson. And you got
to tell one of your stories then.
Look, really, I mean – you don't know broadcast what we are really like off the air. Like listeners and viewers,
not necessarily.
They don't know who the real Tom Brenneman is. All right, like I agree with OK Hog fan who texted in here said there's no way that this is the only time he's ever used that word
of course not.
or spoken it the way he did. This is the first time it happened live on the air, right? So I've really wanted this show over the last almost 2 years to not hide who I am and who our co-hosts have been just behind the microphone. The on-air persona that you hear from us, I think for the most part is who we are off the air too. We don't try to hide behind this very much.
No, I don't give a damn about anybody else. I act like I care about you guys. I hate you.
It's all a facade.
It's all a facade.
There are certain things that there's certain ways that we talk, off the air that you're not going to say on the air. But I don't go out there, spewing hateful terms at people.
We're just trying to abide by the FCC rules, not.
That's exactly right. That's
we're not trying.
But there was the moment that I was doing a Travelers game, and the producer, who was a little bit goofy, you are too, Matty T, but in a really good way. The producer didn't hear my cue to send it to the break after the third out of the inning, and my partner. Says, what's going on back there? And I thought we were at a commercial break. I didn't realize we weren't. And I said, I don't know what the F is happening. And then I looked down, and I realized, well, the mic is on, and I don't hear a commercial, and maybe, just maybe, that went over the airwaves. Now, this was on 9:20 a.m. in Little Rock. It's a 5,000-watt station. Minor league baseball, you never really know how many people are listening. Who knows, right?
Oh, no.
Who knows? Found out that day.
No, I didn't find out that day. I found out the next day. When a Yankees scout came up into the press box to get his pregame stats and a cup of water, and he's a guy we'd gotten to know a little bit. And I'm sitting at the table in the drink area with some of the other media members, and this guy, I don't remember his name, sits down. And he's a big guy with a deep voice. And he says, all right, which one of y'all dropped the F-bomb on the radio last night? And I start sinking into my chair, raised my hand, and said, yeah, I think that was me. In fact, I know that was me. That's a little bit different. That's a slip of the moment where
it wasn't your fault.
It was just a bad word. Like, it wasn't Tom Brenneman's fault that went over the air last night. It's the word. Mm-hmm. It's the meaning behind it. It's the intent behind that word.
There's a few of these words now that are just no-nos. You can't ever say them.
Never.
And that's one of them now. I remember when I was a kid, though, it was a different situation. But
that's right.
Yeah.
Look, and I read a column in the Cincinnati newspaper this morning that details. Marty Brenneman is Tom's father, and he's a Hall of Fame announcer and did Reds games for like 35, 40 years. There was a story that was told about Brenneman doing a telecast of a University of Kentucky basketball game in which he wasn't the Kentucky announcer. And he said, essentially these words came out of his mouth, "Kentucky fans can kiss my ass." He didn't realize that he was on the air at that moment. And there were Kentucky fans listening to him, hearing him say this. So the guy who ran the TV network, and this was a pay-per-view broadcast, made him write an apology to a group of Kentucky fans that were living in Florida. You know, this is a whole different thing. Pissing off one set of fans is different than saying a nasty word with nasty intent behind it about the homosexual community. So whatever's coming Tom Brenneman's way, he deserves it. And I do think his apology was one of the all-time great broadcasting moments. More after the break.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
You know, at some point, we got to quit always dragging in last year or the last 2 years into the reasoning of why this year can't have some independence of its own and some success on its own. Well, at some point, the last 2 years has to quit mattering, and you got to move forward. And I think that's exactly what we're talking about here this morning.
Don't miss The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
It's that time of year, baseball season, and time to clean. Let Service Master Clean help you with your carpet, upholstery, and floor cleaning. Service Master Clean has been an industry leader for more than 60 years and back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or ServiceMasterPC.com.
Furniture August Back to School Sale. We are giving away this USA-made custom leather sectional on August 31st at 4:30 p.m. Must come in to register. In August, discounts on all furniture and mattresses to our finance and cash customers.
You can't discount and give away furniture.
I'll do what I want to do.
I still run this show. I just let her think she does. It was my idea in the first place.
What'd you say?
Nothing, honey. Frank Roll Furniture. Best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Franco Furniture August Back to School Sale. We are giving away this USA-made custom leather sectional on August 31st at 4:30 p.m. Must come in to register. In August, discounts on all furniture and mattresses to our finance and cash customers.
You can't discount and give away furniture.
I'll do what I want to do.
I still run this show. I just let her think she does. It was my idea in the first place.
What'd you say?
Nothing, honey. Frank Roll Furniture. Best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
The Razorbacks, Red Wolves, all the state colleges, and an in-depth preview on every high school team. Read about them all in Hooten's Arkansas Football. Your school, your state, your source. Hooten's Arkansas Football. Look for new Razorback coach Sam Pittman on the cover on newsstands now. Hooten's Arkansas Football.
We're now living in uncharted waters with the spread of COVID-19. With the partial closing of a lot of businesses, sadly, some will soon try and turn your possessions into their possessions. Guardtronic has been providing security for homes and businesses for over 60 years. Whether you need a camera system to keep an eye on things or a complete home security system, call Guardtronic 479-785-2323 or go online to guardtronic.com. We have so many worries these days, safety should not be one of them. License E50.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
At the horn from the other end, no good, and Arkansas wins it. The Razorbacks win it by 2 tonight in College Station, down to the wire, and Arkansas comes out of here with a victory.
Back on halftime, 877-377-6963. Bob Holt coming up in about 15 minutes. Did enjoy Bob's, it's not a column, but his piece in the Democrat today about the bubble that has been constructed around Arkansas football. And essentially that's the same thing on every college campus right now, is a quasi-bubble around the athletics programs. And I feel like Bob touched on something in his article today that we tried to get to yesterday at the outset of the show, SmackDown, which is the idea of feeling that you can trust student athletes to do the right thing with campus returning now, and to stay out of social situations that can lead to coronavirus transmission, to be as vigilant as possible. And I mean, there's two areas here. There's one, when you're inside the football complex, everything's taken care for you. You are reminded about the things you need to do. You are handed your bottle of water. It's you're made sure, they're making sure everybody is 6 feet apart. So that's the easy aspect of it. It's once you walk out of the football complex and go back into the dorms or your off-campus house or whatever it is, that the vigilance is most important. And remember SmackDown yesterday, we got a text from somebody that said, look, I mean, we have college athletes routinely year by year that get DUIs, that flunk out of school, that don't go to class, that assault somebody, and that puts their season in jeopardy, that puts their college career in jeopardy. And these are the same athletes that I would be saying right now. It's the same idea of, look, if you're an SEC athlete, I would think, for the most part, you are more disciplined than the average college student. But you have to be even more disciplined now, because you're talking about discipline that has nothing to do with working hard in the locker room, with working hard in the meeting room, or even in the classroom. It's remembering the things that you've got to do to make sure that you are not the guy or the gal that brings the virus inside your locker room. That's exactly what Bob wrote about today. And if it's the attitude that the Razorbacks have, and it does seem to me they do, then hopefully that's the attitude that every other university athletic department has.
That's what you hope. And you're right. I mean, everything that we've heard up to this point, Hunter Yurchek hadn't been as, I guess, vocal or transparent. I want to say transparent, but just like forthcoming with info of how many COVID cases there are, which, quite frankly, honestly, it's probably none of our business, because then you get into HIPAA laws with with those students, and it's a whole different area. But everything that we've seen up to this point, and especially recently with Rakeem Boyd coming out basically saying a couple days ago during his Zoom press conference with Pittman, he feels completely safe up there right now with him and his boys.
And safety is the biggest aspect of it,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Safety is the biggest aspect. Those athletes, and we've talked about this too, and you've seen different media members, national media members, us, the Morning Rush guys, I'm sure Ruskin and Zach have said the same thing. Those kids, particularly the athletes, are just as safe up there because they've got state-of-the-art health equipment. They've got people that are not forcing them, but really encouraging them to follow the rules. And those players, I've mentioned this a million times, they know what's at stake if they don't follow those rules. There's no football season. It comes into a whole other aspect of bringing the students on board with this as well. And you're going to have kids that party. That's just a given. But I almost want to, and we talked about the trust aspect yesterday, I almost want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because this has never happened before in any of our lifetimes. The last time this really happened was the Spanish flu back in 1918, and this really wasn't even a big deal back then as far as partying on college campuses and worrying about college football being then.
But you think people weren't partying on college campuses in 1918?
I mean,
it was probly a different style party.
Different style party.
Yeah.
There wasn't Tupac.
Some of the ladies, they were showing some ankle. Things got really crazy.
Hey. Sorry. But you're right. You almost want to give them the benefit of the doubt, though, honestly. Because
I want to.
You want to.
And again, I don't know if this is. I want. Maybe I'm naive about this, Maybe I'm naive about it. Maybe it's more of a desire of them to be more disciplined about this, because I want football, because I want them to play. I want every fall athlete to be able to get through this next season. And I want basketball season to start on time.
You need baseball season to start on I mean, we're a ways away from baseball coming around, but you're going to blink your eye and we're going to be in November, and we're going to be having this same conversation about baseball season. And there's ways for these kids to socially distance with each other, but while also having that college social life. Think it's all, I mean, as long as you social distance and wear your mask, there ain't nothing, nobody's saying that me and Maddie T couldn't, like, if we met on a college campus or something, long as we're masked up and we're not, like, you know, hugging each other and doing
it's
guy things.
It's going to be difficult for me to resist, you know.
It is very difficult because I am a very, very sexy man. There's ways around it, though, for everything to come together. That way you do get that college lifestyle, because we all lived it. And it's hard for us to tell, and Ty's brought this up, and he's right. You can't sit there like us, say you mask up and you can't socialize, when all three of us when we were in college did that. Now, there wasn't a pandemic. There was nothing other than like just regular sickness going around. If you got the flu, bronchitis, whatever it is, there's not this deadly pandemic that's going around. So it's a balancing act is what it really is.
I don't know. I think idiocy was pretty contagious when I was a college student. I think it
I've
still
heard
is.
stories about this before.
I think even back in 1918, idiocy was still contagious amongst college students. I don't think that's ever changed.
But you get my point, though.
Yeah, I do. There's a couple of things that stood out from reports that you read about practice yesterday. Again, the media can only watch for 15 minutes, but so how much can you glean out of 15 minutes? Tom Murphy reported that Felipe Franks threw beautiful tight spiral, showed off a big arm. You knew they had to at least be able to watch him throw. Like, out of all the things that media members would have wanted to see, or that fans would want to see right now, the first thing we want to see is the Felipe Franks arm and what that spiral looks like. So I guess it looked pretty good. Interesting, too, that T.J. Hammonds was working with the wide receiver group. So, I mean, he's got an ability maybe to be a valuable slot receiver, but maybe this says something about the state of the running backs room right now. And you got to feel pretty good about the running backs room. Monte Spivey, Traylon Smith, and, of course, Rakeem Boyd. So, and with TJ's speed, and you always want to get him out in open space, well, maybe that's one opportunity to do so. And, of course, for us, what we think is the biggest story of camp and probably early in the season is the makeup of the offensive line. Ricky Stromberg is taking snaps at center. Ty Clary is too, but with a different group, a group that probably is not amongst the starters right now. So, according to Tom, Stromberg was at center, Shane Clennon and Bo Limmer were the two guards, and it does seem that Dalton Wagner at right tackle and Myron Cunningham at left tackle are locked in at the top spots. But the headline there is Ricky Stromberg at center and Ty Clary potentially on the second team.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of time with these practices going off, but that's going to be the crucial part to watch and kind of see what players step up and what players don't to try to fill that void in the offensive and defensive line. So that'll be interesting. That'll be one of the interesting battles to come off. And our man Andy Hodge is up in Fayetteville. And if you hadn't seen, you go to hitthatline.com, and on our YouTube page at hitthatlineAR, on Twitter at hitthatline on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and YouTube. There's a great little highlight video that he put together, about a 3 or 4 minute tape. And you were talking about Felipe Franks slinging the football around. There's some good clips of him slinging it. So it's out there for you to see.
You just go ahead and call him double after in the season if you get tongue-tied, okay?
That's fair enough.
We'll treat it like Follow Friday used to be a big thing on Twitter. Hey, I'm excited today because we got a lot of afternoon baseball. If you find out if it sounds like I'm not paying attention during the show at some point, SmackDown, that's because I'm not. I'm probably watching a baseball game on my phone.
Did you say something?
Yeah, something about a baseball game.
Oh, okay, I wasn't paying attention.
You got a couple of games that are in action now. The Yankees and the Rays, 1-0 New York. End of one inning, bottom of the first I was about to say Toronto. That's Buffalo, and Philadelphia leading the Blue Jays 1-0. That's the first of a doubleheader. Tigers and White Sox, Astros and Rockies, all day games, 4-day games, which gives me the opportunity to kind of tune you guys out a little bit if I want to watch some baseball.
Hey, that's fine. I tune myself out sometimes too, but Me and Matty T can handle. If you get yourself caught up in that Yankee game, me and Matty T, we've wrote the ship before.
Later on when I'm doing the Major League Baseball update, I'm going to make a bold prediction. On today's Pirates Cleveland Indians game.
Ooh, I like bold predictions.
Oh, it's going to be a really bold prediction. Also, a bold prediction that if you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge tonight, you're going to have a great time. They've got Oreo Blues 30th Anniversary Tour Stop today at 7 o'clock, open until midnight. And you can check out all the new menu items from the kitchen at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge's Facebook page. Just type 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge into the search, and they've got their page right there for you. Got all the new menu items, all the old favorites as well, and social distancing at 906 with state-of-the-art airflow system. Make sure you're going to have the freshest environment while you're at 906. And we'll be right back with Bob Holt. Stay tuned.
The minute we think about using alcohol or drugs, we lower our chance of living our best life. When we rise above, we respect ourselves and live our best life, not a stressed life. Being drug and alcohol free has always been the best way to be. Hey, it's my best me. Let's do this. Join the RAAD movement. Challenge yourself to rise above alcohol and drugs. To learn more, find and like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Region 2 Partners for Success, and you can reach us at 870-391-3176.
It could be a routine drive to pick up the kids after school or an epic road trip across the country. No matter where your travels take you, we know those miles count. We're Marathon. We have over 5,700 stations across our great nation. Our people are working hard every day to provide you with quality top-tier gasoline to improve engine performance and fuel your life. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids' meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above can make that driveway and fence look brand new with a good power washing. You don't have to put up with those unwanted pests either. Call today and get started with the flea, tick, and mosquito treatment to start enjoying the outdoors again. More than just a mowing service. They're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea, tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
It's hotter than blazes outside, but you don't have to stop, drop, and roll to beat this heat, because right now you can shop, swap, and roll into a nicer, newer car. Hi, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I've teamed up with dealers nationwide to launch an end-of-summer car swap, where you can swap your current car for one of our Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Even if you're still making payments, and regardless of age, mileage, or condition, you can stop by with your current ride and swap it for a nicer, newer car today. Plus, Rath Auto Resources has payments that work with almost any budget. So come on down to Rath Auto Resources, the only local dealer participating in the end-of-summer car swap. Keeping the car you have, let us get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas' favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, where you can shop, swap, and roll into a nicer, newer car today. Come see us at 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
This is ESPN 95.3. Want more halftime? Make sure to listen to the Halftime Pod, presented by Jeff's Clubhouse, Fort Smith's premier place for lunch, brunch, and catering. Give them a call at 479-308-9123. The Halftime Pod is available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Let's do a podcast from right here in the booth.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
And welcome back on Halftime. Let's go to the phones right now. Our good friend Bob Holt joining us. Sports writer extraordinaire, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Bob, what's going on today? How are you?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day here in Northwest Arkansas, as you now know, being a Northwest Arkansas resident.
That's right. I am a Northwest Arkansan, I guess. I wasn't ever sure what to call myself living in Little Rock. Nobody knows what to call yourself living in Little Rock. Is it a Little Rocker, Little Rockanian? We just go with Arkansan. What do I call myself? Because I'll be living in Johnson. So what do I call myself? A Johnsoner?
Maybe a Johnsonian? I don't know. I haven't really thought of it. I don't know that you want people calling you a Johnson.
That's right. Yeah, don't be calling me a Johnson, please. And that's not my
That wouldn't go
name.
over well.
No, I don't think it would. All right. Bob, I loved your piece that was in the Democrat this morning about the quasi-bubble that Razorback sports has going on. And, I think that's the way that most universities view their athletic departments right now. But it's really, you can only have that bubble for so long, and then students come back on campus. And I think no matter what you do, you can't necessarily keep student athletes and regular students from intermingling now and again. But there's this sense that you can't trust the 18 to 22-year-old student to do, quote, unquote, the right thing during this pandemic to limit the spread. But I want to feel, and maybe it's just because I want football right now, I want to feel like we can trust the student athletes maybe a little more than the general student, because what's at stake for them is their entire season. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'd say I would feel I could trust, and this is not a knock on regular students. I feel like I could trust the athletes a lot more because, you're right. It's their. This is the primary. Not that they're not here to get an education and all that, but the primary reason they're here is to play sports, whether it's football, run cross country, soccer, volleyball, whatever, and then going into the winter sports. But they have a lot at stake, and you can imagine the guilt, I guess is a word, that if, you were a person who maybe stepped out of line a little bit and got COVID and then you infected teammates, that would be a pretty big burden to carry, And so I think that's a good kind of peer pressure is, the team leaders telling you, hey, don't go out, stay with your inner circle. That's a term I've heard some of the players use. And it's kind of like Sam Pittman said, the students started getting back on campus in bigger numbers last week, but it's not like Fayetteville's been a ghost town. And, the athletes started getting back on campus on June 8th, and then they've gradually increased, adding freshmen and everything. So we're talking, over 3 months, they've done a pretty good job of containing things. We know they've had some positive tests, they've had some quarantines, but they haven't had these major outbreaks like you've seen at a lot of places. So the fact they've done so well for 3 months, and now the season, they're trying to have a season. There's a schedule. They're in camp. It's just hard to imagine guys and or girls stepping out of line when they've been able to do it this long. And now there's, they can see the starting point now of their season.
And the word that I saw that Rakeem Boyd uses that is maybe the most important aspect of this because of the mental stress, the emotional stress that I think everybody has felt, even when you've gone back to work, if you've gone back into an office or if you're a teacher that's been in school for a few days now, there's nerves. You want to feel safe no matter what it is you're doing, because it's a little difficult to focus on the task at hand if you don't feel safe. Rakeem Boyd says he feels safe, and I would imagine that's the way the rest of this team feels. So constructing this quasi-bubble around the team, making them feel safe, this makes them this helps them practice better. This helps them. This gives them the ability to focus on what's important right now outside of staying healthy. So the safety of this is the biggest aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Obviously, playing football or whatever sport you may be involved in is hard enough without worrying about, gee, if I cough or clear my throat, am I going to infect a teammate? Or if I sneeze, you know? We know they've got these guards they wear with their helmets. They're having, I guess they're called the gaiters or the masks. And I know Kendall Browse, the offensive coordinator, said the other day that everybody in their building wears masks. You know, there's not it's not like some of these stores you might walk around in where some guy's got a mask on his chin. You're thinking, like, that's really not doing you any good there, buddy. I think everybody's, doing the proper thing. And if they're not doing it, I think their teammates or coaches or staff or whoever get on them pretty quick and get them back in line. So, I think it's like Rakeem said, you're much safer here because you've got all these testing protocols. I mean, if you do have to go into quarantine, they're going to make sure you're getting the right medical care. They're going to make sure you're getting your meals. I know reading a story in the South Bend paper, there's a lot of complaints from Notre Dame students about, testing not being done in a timely fashion, and people like we're getting quarantined and we're getting their meals. And so here's obviously Notre Dame, major university, which I think has about 12,000 students. So it's not like it has, 40 or 50,000 like Texas or something. So, I think you have to commend Arkansas and most of the other SEC schools I've heard about that they're doing a good job of keeping everybody safe.
Speaking to Bob Holt here on Halftime, Bob, there's been a lot of chatter around social media and good chatter from the players and different things like that, particularly Mike Woods, and the overall attitude that they have towards Sam Pittman right now. It's just infectious for how they're kind of portraying the football program right now. And Mike Woods was quoted saying, look, we got dogs on this team. You got those kids that really seem like they really want to play for Sam Pittman. And I think overall, when you bring it up to the fans' perspective, the overall attitude amongst the fans is starting to really increase a little bit from earlier this year. You were talking like maybe they win one game or two games, where now it might still be the same way, but the overall attitude from the fans towards this football program heading into the fall, it's on the upward trend.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, good vibes or optimism for a team that's coming off back-to-back 2-10 seasons and has lost 19 straight SEC games. I know there was a lot of angst when, Florida and Georgia both got added to the schedule. I think we talked about that previously, and I said, well, they'll get one of those teams, but they surely won't give them both. Well, they gave them both. And I'm sure privately there was probably a lot of gnashing of teeth or whatever. But, publicly, Sam and Hunter Yurchek and players have all said the right thing. It's like, hey, this is just more of a challenge, we've got another chance to prove ourselves and all that. So it's going to be really interesting with Georgia coming in here right off the bat, Sam's old team. And he knows those coaches. He knows a lot of those players, recruit a lot of those players. So that'll be really interesting. But, I think Sam's very impressed how he's handled this pandemic situation. He obviously hadn't coached the game yet, but I think he's really set a good, calming tone. I mean, if you watch his Zoom calls, which I think are available on like our website and different places, he's just a straight shooter. He's very calm, and it seems like he's very in control of the moment, and that's very impressive, I think, for anybody, but especially somebody who's a first-time SEC head coach.
I also enjoyed your piece on Whole Hog Sports talking about, if we switch to basketball for a second, the different JUCO players that Arkansas has found success in. I mean, and it was enough JUCO players to formulate three teams, just like an all-SEC team. You had a first team, second team, and a third team of JUCO players that have transferred into Arkansas. And I've never really thought about it like that, but Arkansas, how have they found so much talent out of the JUCO market? And when you look at some of those players that came through, it was some of the greatest Razorbacks to ever play in Bud Walton Arena and Barnhill Arena.
Yeah, first off, I got to give a shout out to Matt Jones, our online Whole Hog Sports editor. He came up with that idea. I wrote the story, made the calls, whatever, but that was Matt's idea, and he kind of did the legwork to put the teams together and check with different people. But yeah, it is amazing, and 15 guys, and there's a lot of guys, good players that we couldn't get on those three teams. So Arkansas had good history of this. Matt Zimmerman had a good thought. When I talked to him about it, because he's obviously been on the staff and as an assistant and ops guy, now he's a radio color guy. But they're at West Stark, which is now UA Fort Smith. It's a Division II school, but he used to be a JUCO, and it was very good. That's where Darrell Walker and Ron Brewer came from. Had a lot of good players. So Sonny Williams played there. But now West Stark's a 4-year Division II, so you really think about JUCOs in Arkansas. There's Arkansas Baptist, down in Little Rock, but there aren't a lot of junior college programs. But Arkansas has been able to attract junior college players, from around the country. I think because the program, is nationally known now, and and another big thing is that Eddie Sutton was. People don't really think about this. At least I don't think a lot of people do. But Eddie Sutton, he was a high school coach in Tulsa, then became a junior college coach at Southern Idaho. And he had I think he was 83-14 in 3 years there. And so he comes to Creighton and then to Arkansas, so he's got a lot of JUCO ties. Nolan Richardson played junior college ball at Eastern Mexico, but before he went to UTEP, and then he coached in high school, and just like Eddie Sutton, he went to junior college at Western Texas, and then had incredible success. I think he won 101-13, won a national title. And then he took all JUCO guys to Tulsa, including Mike Anderson, who was an Arkansas coach, who was a JUCO player. Gene Cady, great Arkansas assistant, who went on to great success at Purdue. He was a JUCO coach. So I think the coaches came in, had the JUCO connections, and then once players see guys have success like Darrell Walker, Alvin Robertson, Martin Terry, on and on, then they say, well, that's a good place for me to go too.
When you talk with JUCO athletes and the coaches that have been there, that is an ultimate grind. You get out of JUCO and you get a chance at a Division I school, and I know it's difficult to throw a blanket statement over this, but generally those guys are extremely hardworking, and they are nose to the grindstone sort of players, and don't let a lot of the little things bother them, because there's just no glamour or luxury in JUCO sports at all.
Yeah, and this is a point Matt Zimmerman brought up too. But those guys, they're used to riding around in vans or maybe old rickety buses. They're getting sandwiches. They're not getting these lavish pregame meals where, hey, do you want to have chicken, pasta, steak, whatever. The junior college where they live, I'm not trying to knock them, but they probably aren't the plushest of accommodations, let's say. And then they get here and they're flying on planes and they're getting as many socks and jocks and shoes and whatever they want. My guess is, junior college, year starts and you're handed, okay, here's a couple pairs of shorts, here's a couple pairs of socks, here's a couple jocks. If you lose them, you got to buy your own or something, And I'm just guessing. I've never actually been an equipment manager at a junior college, but and so I think, then they come to a Division I school like Arkansas or, whatever high major program you want to talk about. Suddenly they're, it's such an upgrade, and I think they're super appreciative. I think, like you guys said, they're very hardworking, and they appreciate the opportunity. They want to let the coaches down, and they want to make the most of their opportunity. And they're not going to sweat the little things because they're just really glad to be here. And it's like, we only got steak instead of chicken. Well, I got a bologna sandwich. I tell you, a few months ago, I was in a Fairfield Inn, and I was checking out, and I don't know if it was a junior college team or a D2 team or what, but they were all in that lobby area, where the tables are, and somebody came in with grocery bags, and they put out loaves of bread, cold cuts. I mean, that was their pregame meal, for whatever. I think they were a basketball team. So they weren't having a lavish pregame meal. They were basically somebody, had gone to the grocery, gotten cold cuts and bread, and some bananas and apples, and that was their pregame meal. And there's anything wrong with that, but it's obviously lets you know the different levels we're talking about.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing though, that every once in a while, a good bologna sandwich does hit the spot.
Every time.
Yeah. Not all the time, just every once in a while.
It's even better when it's a fried bologna sandwich too.
Yeah, that's true. Bob, we'll let you go, man. Thanks. Maybe I'll see you around in Johnson sometime. Okay.
Okay, you guys take care.
All right, take care. Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Yeah, I mean, and it's like SmackDown. It's like the most basic sandwich. It's just a little bread, a little mayo, a little bologna, maybe a slice of cheese, another slice of bread, and you're a happy man, right?
It doesn't take much. I mean, it's the little things that make a big guy like me feel better.
Maybe 4 slices of bologna for you, okay?
4 or 5. 4 good thick slices.
Okay. We'll wrap the first hour up of halftime right after the break. Stay tuned.
Are your appliances struggling? Do you need that part and not sure where to go? Mid-South Distributing has you covered with 9 locations in the Arkansas area. Appliance parts and accessories for all major brands of appliance. Mid-South Distributing has you, the customer, in mind when you're needing that part for your appliance. Mid-South Distributing. Check out midsouthparts.com to find your location near you. Mid-South Distributing. We're in your neighborhood.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
Frank Rowe Furniture's August back-to-school sale. In August, huge discounts on all furniture and mattress to our finance and cash customers. Just come in, pick out your furniture, and ask, what's my discount? Also in August, Frank Rowe Furniture is giving away a leather sectional 100% made in the USA by Best Home Furnishings. Must come in to register, but no need to be present to win. Sectional will be given away August 31st at 4:30 p.m. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Introducing Peacock, the new free streaming service from NBC Universal. It's hit movies, current shows, and live sports. News clips, trending bits, and timeless hits. It's Kim and Courtney, Seth and Jimmy, Hoda, Savannah, Fiona, and Shrek. I'm an ogre! It's the best of streaming and the best of TV. And that's why you can't not watch. Peacock. Watch for free, upgrade for more. Stream now at peacocktv.com. These titles plus the English Premier League and Law & Order SVU streaming now. Content availability may vary over time. Some content requires paid upgrade.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
After falling to the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1982 NBA Finals, the 76ers needed to find the right player to build the ultimate winning team. In September of '82, they acquired restricted free agent Moses Malone. They went on to rack up a 65-17 regular season record and followed that up with a 12-1 postseason record. Malone won the regular season and NBA Finals MVP award.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Adding a leader you need right when you need them. That's how sports teams get ahead and how your business can too. LinkedIn will match the right talent with your open roles fast. Post a job and you'll get great candidates with the right mix of skills, interest, and experience. So every hire you make is a win for your business. Go to linkedin.com/sports and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-3613. 800-215-3613. That's 800-215-3613.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
Put your hand down. You smiling?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football. Football's fun.
Fun, sir.
Fun, sir.
It's fun.
Yes.
You sure?
I think.
Now you're thinking. First you smile, then you think. You think football is still fun?
Yes.
Sir?
Yes. No.
No?
Sir. But it was fun.
Not anymore, though, is it? Is it?
No, not
No, it's not fun anymore. Not even a little bit.
No.
Make up your mind.
No.
Think. Since you're thinking, now go on. Think. Is it fun?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Absolutely not?
Zero fun, sir.
All right, listen up. I'm Coach Boone. I'm going to tell you all about how much fun you're going to have this season.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Smackdown.
Some headlines to get to in the next hour, but we're about to have a little fun here with this upcoming phone call. 877-377-6963.
He brought this on himself.
Let me preview this by saying that I am the single worst fantasy sports player in the history of the thing. All right? First of all, I don't do fantasy football. It's been like 16 years since I did fantasy football. I joined in on a fantasy baseball league last year.
All right.
Zach Arns can confirm that I legitimately do not care about how I perform in this fantasy league. I don't even know who's on my team. I rejoined it this year out of guilt for not I didn't want to be the guy that made the fantasy league inoperable. You know, they needed a 10th. You can't have a fantasy league with 9.
No, you can't.
And I truly don't care about fantasy sports at all. I thought
Have you had a bad experience with it, or just
the bad experience is that I thought it would be fun, and then I just forgot about it, and then I just lose interest. It's not that I lose interest in the game of baseball or the sport of football. It's that I lose interest in caring about these.
It's a full-time commitment.
Well, that's what I've found out. Yeah. Certainly in baseball it is. It's a full-time commitment, and I just don't care. I don't care. And the guys who are in that league are up here in Northwest Arkansas, and they're probably shocked, floored, and even a little bit angry that the person who might be more closely associated with the sport of baseball than about 99% of people in the state of Arkansas doesn't care about the fantasy baseball league that he joined with them. All right? That's me. So now, why don't you explain who's on our lines right now and what this is about?
Let's welcome into halftime. He's my man Jake from Dardanelle. So I'll preface this by saying that I have never Jake, have me and you met each other before?
No, sir, we have not.
I didn't think we had. So Jake is he's really good friends with my man Taylor Kendrick, who is one of my best friends from college. So me and Jake and a bunch of us, there's a group of like 12 of us that are in this big fantasy league together, Phil and Maddie T. And there's no like rated G trash talk in this chat. It's
is there PG-13 or is this all R and NR and
no, probably PG-14 or TV-14.
But no hate speech like that other guy.
No hate speech. It's all done out of love, except when it's coming to Jake because he's fixing to get these hands this year.
So what's this about, Jake? Have you called in to talk smack on him?
So go ahead, Jake.
No, I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you for. I didn't know we were playing with a celebrity, so I just had to call and talk some crap and just get the year started off right and let them know that I got something coming for him. And
my man,
if he wants to go ahead and pay my entry for next year, he can go ahead and write the check.
So,
Jake, I want you to know that if you were in the same room with SmackDown, I doubt you would be talking so tough to him.
Oh, no, he would. I know he would.
It's awfully difficult to be in the same room with this behemoth and talk tough.
Yeah. Hey, I'm like Pat McAfee. Like
my man, yes.
He's not scared of him soul.
Yes.
So, I mean, let me just tell you, I wouldn't be scared to talk crap to old Matt right here.
My man. Hey, now, Phil, I'll tell you this because I know you don't care for fantasy football, and Jake's fixing to agree with me what I'm fixing to say. What's the one rule in fantasy football that there's several rules that you don't do in fantasy football. We had a guy last year. His name is Daniel. He drafted 2 – see, he already knows. He drafted 2 kickers in his fantasy draft.
Yeah.
How about the number one rule of joining a fantasy league is intend to actually play it when you join it.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All the other guys in the fantasy baseball league that I'm quote-unquote in are saying the exact same thing if they're listening right now.
So, and I'll tell you, just to give you some preface on how competitive this league is right now, $25 entry fee for this league that we're in. The first place team gets $180 out of the deal. So that's reason enough for me to give it my attention.
Ty used to talk about his fantasy football team on a week-by-week basis, and I basically tuned out. I would tune out. Like, I don't care. I don't care how your fantasy team does. Nobody else does. But we do like the smack talk.
Absolutely.
That's what we do. Maybe that's the aspect of fantasy sports that most people like.
I don't know. Me and Jake have a good time. It's going to be fun this year. We talk smack with each other. I think, Jake, what'd you finish last year in the league?
I think I went like 12-1, and I lost the championship game.
That's right. I think I was like,
I need some revenge this year.
I was in the 3 seed or 4 seed of that championship last year, so it'll be a fun year. But it's fun. I love fantasy football. It's great. I mean, like I said, I've never met Jake in person, but we've been playing together for, good Lord, 2 or 3, 4 years now. So It's been fun.
You know, the reason that I dropped fantasy football is because the only thing that matters to me on the weekends is that the Pittsburgh Steelers win. That's the only thing that matters. Like, I hate the other – how many teams are there? I hate the other 31 teams with passion, hate them all. And I don't want to root for anybody else. I don't want to care about how anybody else does. I just want the black and gold to get a victory every weekend. If they do, good weekend. If they don't, I don't care about the other teams.
Jake, who's your team? Do I lose Jake?
He just dropped.
Yeah, I guess we lost Jake. All right. Well, appreciate it. Jake, thanks for calling in, my friend.
But that's the aspect of and I've wondered about this sometimes, and maybe get into the psychology of being a fan. Why do we root for the teams we root for? And in some cases, I feel like we root so hard for teams because we're rooting for ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, now you actually get a chance to really root for yourself when it comes to fantasy sports. Like that's the first time that there was that connection between the sports and the people that root for them outside of normal gambling, like putting money down on lines.
Let me see if I can convince you to do fantasy football this year. What if you could do your draft party at Buffalo Wild Wings? Would that persuade you?
Well, no, but that would make me think about it a lot harder.
Make you think about it a lot harder. Well, for you fantasy footballers out there, you can head to B-Dubs right now, get some great chicken wings, and also host your draft party at Buffalo Wild Wings. So from now and moving into football season, make sure you head to B-Dubs and get Stay Saucy and give your draft party what they want, which is Buffalo Wild Wings. Bubble bundle starting at $29.99. Today is Boneless Thursdays, which is buy one, get one free boneless wings. You can head to B-Dubs in Fort Smith, Little Rock, Conway, Jonesboro, and Sherwood. Don't wait up. Download the app and place your order today at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Roar.
Notre Dame has canceled practice today.
Wow.
Had about a handful of players test positive. Well, we'll get to that after the break. Stay tuned on Halftime.
Hi, folks. John Collins with Randall Ford of Fort Smith. If you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, you need to come see me today. We have access to hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. All makes and models available. If we don't have it, we'll find it for you. We have special financing and warranties available on all vehicles, plus up to 90 days deferred payments on select models. All vehicles are cleaned and UV sanitized to protect our customers. Before you pay too much for your next vehicle, come see me personally and let me save you money.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine & Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine & Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine & Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is making Saturdays even better with $1 tacos and $1 specialty draft beers. You can't go wrong with Taco Saturdays and specialty draft beers for just $1, plus $3 margaritas every day. Joe's Grill and Cantina, making your Saturdays even better with $1 tacos and $1 specialty draft beers. $1 tacos and $1 draft beers every Saturday at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing altered TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to waveruralconnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
You name the speed and get all you need, only $50 a month. If your business has been experiencing some lag in its internet service, Pinnacle is here to help. With the most reliable fiber network, Pinnacle delivers a faster, seamless connection so you can focus on what matters most, your customers. Now for a limited time, choose any speed and pay only $50 a month for 3 months. Don't wait long. Call Pinnacle today or visit pinnacletelecom.com. Some restrictions apply, 36-month agreement required.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Clear to partly cloudy tonight, and overnight low will be right around the 60-degree mark. We're looking at sun-filled skies Thursday, our high near 85. Friday, another nice sunny day with our high in the upper 80s. Saturday, lots of sunshine, our high nudging the 90-degree mark. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson. Make sure to listen to the Morning Rush every weekday morning from 6 to 9 on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
It's fast. It's exciting.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
You guys are awesome, baby. You have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
This is going to be a fun hour. We don't have any guests for the next 60 minutes. But there's lots to get to. There's some headlines. We've got our How Bad Are the Pirates today. Got Major League Baseball games going on. NBA playoffs are in action as of right now. We're going to give away a Hardee's Lunch Bunch giveaway in about 30 minutes. And we'll finish up the show with a combination of halftime homework and dumbass of the week, in which we're going to be comparing the Tom Brenneman apology/home run call with the greatest home run calls in the history of baseball. Because I think this
this will be fun.
Right there with it. It's one of the, I mean, for one thing, what Brenneman said that got him in trouble is one thing, and then the apology with a home run call mixed in, for me, is one of the all-time awkward moments in the history of broadcasting of any kind.
Hey, Phil, it has to say something when me, who doesn't watch baseball hardly at all, is texting you about it last night, you know.
Before I texted Phil about it, like it was you.
Yeah, the two of us got into this a little bit last night. We were wondering where you were.
Yeah.
I guess you were
asleep
at 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, there's that little thing called the 4 a.m. alarm.
I don't miss that.
I still don't know how you pull that off. All right, I mentioned the Notre Dame football program has had to shut down practice for today. According to their release from just a few minutes ago, they had underwent a total of 232 tests. 5 student-athletes tested positive. Now, this is the football team, I think, specifically, not student-athletes overall. They've also added 6 other football players into quarantine because of contact tracing. So Notre Dame's done really well at limiting their athletes' exposure to this virus. 98.9% negativity rate. And I think it'd been a few weeks since they'd had their last positive test, but the university had just had to push their classes online for 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks. So this feels like it's connected to it. And, you know, this also brings up something that we've got a text from a listener early on in the show. Jack and Van Buren did ask a good question. And this is a question that is, for me, it's not related to anything that's going to happen during the preseason, during the build-up to the start of the football season. It's what happens during the season. Yeah. You're seeing an indication of what could happen right now, and it's the contact tracing. For one person to test positive, you may end up, because of the contact tracing, having to quarantine an entire first team or an entire position group. I mean, these are 6 players, 6 more players on top of 5 positive tests that are in a quarantine. That's 11 players, and that's a lot on a football team or any team, you know. So, you know, I mean, the contact tracing is the thing that could really knock a team out for a couple of weeks, you know, which could lead to a postponement of a game, could lead to a forfeit perhaps. You know, it's the positive tests certainly are one thing, and that's one aspect to pay attention to. But it's the one positive test and then the contact tracing throughout the rest of the football team that is the real danger in shutting down a team for an appreciable amount of time. You're seeing that with Notre Dame today.
That's going to be the interesting part of this whole season. I feel like we've talked about this before, but it's going to be interesting to see how they go about this, because like say when Arkansas plays Georgia, a kid tests up positive after that, who the heck knows what you're going to do after that? And B, what player's going to replace him? I mean, there's so many unanswered questions. And right before we came on the air at about 11:50 or whatever time it was, Greeny was on here just talking about all the rules are thrown out the window at this point. There's no right or wrong answer for how teams can go about handling A, the virus, but B, now to bring it into this conversation, how are you going to handle contact tracing?
That's right. Well, this is where you can see where a couple of tests could end up affecting the rest of the team. A couple of positive tests can affect everybody else.
Now, what was the rule that SEC came out with? They're testing 2 days prior to events, or is it game day, like on the game day events?
I thought it was 72 hours.
I knew there was a 72. I couldn't remember if there was a game day test also. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, you're gonna. I mean, a game. You need a quick turnaround in that case, and that's obviously been a little more difficult to find at sometimes. Some other COVID-related sports headlines. This heart condition, myocarditis, which is a lasting after effect amongst some people that recover from the virus, is now taking out Georgia State's quarterback for the season. Michael Colasurdo has been diagnosed with this heart condition and is out for the remainder of the season. That coming out just recently. Also, I saw an injury. This has nothing to do with coronavirus, but South Carolina lost one of their potential stars for the season. Tailback Marshawn Lloyd tore his ACL in the left knee at practice, a non-contact injury, and was considered the 8th best tailback in the incoming class, according to ESPN, so he's out for the year. Also, Merton Hanks. You remember Merton Hanks? I don't know if you remember him, SmackDown. He was a cornerback for the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
And he had the greatest post-interception celebration of anybody. I don't know how to describe this dance. He almost looked like his arms and legs were a series of snakes that were bouncing around. He had the loosest extremities that I've ever seen before. And every time he would make an interception, he would do this crazy dance in which his arms and legs would just jangle around. And he's now been hired by the Pac-12 as the senior associate commissioner to run football operations. Very highly respected former NFLer who's been working in Conference USA for the last couple of years. Here's an interesting note, and I guess I would get into this in the next segment because we're going to do How Bad Are the Pirates, but this is separate from how bad the Pirates are. Their team president tested positive for the virus today. Travis Williams, who'd been an executive with the Pittsburgh Penguins for a number of years, has been the Pirates team president for a little less than a year now, and he has come down with the virus as well. So I don't think that affects the team necessarily because team presidents don't travel with the team. And, they have this tier system, tier 1, tier 2. I don't think team presidents are tier 1 necessarily. They don't have to interact with the players on a day-by-day basis. And to be honest, in many cases, it's usually a good idea if they don't. So I'm not expecting that to affect them at all. Yeah, Justin remembers Merton Hanks. He had a long neck, a seriously long neck. I guess long neck goes along with long arms and long legs. These things usually work in tandem because Merton Hanks did have that extremely long neck.
Let's see if I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of him. Oh, my goodness, he did have a long neck. Wow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now I'm also getting some crap here from Ruskin and Zach about Kit Kat bars. They don't like the way that I eat
not
Kit
Ruskin
Kat
and
bars.
Zach.
Now they're tweeting to me that I don't know how they did this research or where they found it out, but that Kit Kat bars are made up of broken Kit Kats that are damaged during production. So they say that means I'm eating trash. These things haven't been thrown in the garbage.
Yeah. That comment seems like trash.
No, this is equivalent to like the pink slime thing that we dealt with 10 years ago. Right, the pink slime. This is like, chocolate slime, right? It's the little dust particles that are left behind in the pieces of chocolate that don't actually make up the Kit Kat. This isn't garbage. This isn't trash. It's just broken chocolate. It's okay. And by the way, did you see the story about the town in Switzerland that has a chocolate factory where the ventilation system, this happened yesterday. the ventilation system malfunctioned, and it snowed cocoa bits on the city, on the town.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Huh. Do you imagine what that would be like? Like you look up in the sky and you're like, something is falling on me. What is this? What is this fine black powder that is falling from the sky? Would you take the chance of licking the cocoa powder as it falls on your hand? You don't know what this stuff is.
I just stick my tongue out and just let it fall on it. Can you imagine the ant problem they're going to have now?
Well, I mean, they tell you not to eat the yellow snow, and you certainly don't want to eat the brown snow. So I'd be a little bit nervous about going after this stuff, too.
Be some great snow ice cream, though. Snow cream.
Really would.
That's not lemon flavored.
It's a whole new idea behind snow cones.
You're done.
Whole new idea behind snow cones there. Yeah.
When have we ever taken Ruskin and Zach seriously, though, with a poll like this, though?
No, it's just their tradition now of coming at me with everything they have. And now since I'm doing the show in their studios, just get ready for this kind of stuff like on a week-by-week basis.
Well, maybe you need to bring them up. Orange or Ruskin needs to pop on just to...
No, we don't need to pollute our show with their
That's a good point. That's fair. That is very fair.
That's unnecessary cross-show pollution that's not needed as of right now. Maybe we'll worry about that another time. Back after the break, how bad are the Pirates today and other Major League stuff?
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
You know, at some point, we got to quit always dragging in last year or the last 2 years into the reasoning of why this year can't have some independence of its own and some success on its own. Well, at some point, the last 2 years it has to quit mattering, and you got to move forward. And I think that's exactly what we're talking about here this morning.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
International Paper at 4500 Newland Road in Fort Smith needs experienced maintenance techs. They invest in their people, offering great benefits like medical, dental, vision, holidays, vacation, 401k, and pension. At International Paper, they do the right things in the right ways for the right reasons all of the time. That's the IP way. Apply at internationalpaper.com/careers. International Paper is an equal opportunity affirmative action employer. All qualified applicants will receive consideration for employment without regard to sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, race, color, religion, national origin, disability, protected veteran status, age, or any other characteristic protected by law.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, now open Tuesday through Saturday, still serving all the 906 specialty items, with new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, dine in or carry out, wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails and cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels more like a destination, following all of the state guidelines and a state-of-the-art air filtration system for your safety. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open Tuesday through Saturday at 4 p.m.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. It's a difficult time right now, and social distancing is vitally important. That's why I'm here to encourage you to keep running. It's a great way to exercise in solitude, build up your immune system, and keep from going stir-crazy. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips on how to take care of yourself during this time. And remember, just keep running. This has been brought to you by True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hello, sports fans. I know you are ready for sports to return. Hi, this is Sherry Traylor.
with Floyd Trailer Honda, and we have been proud to be your local hometown dealer for over 43 years. Come out and see us at 3200 South Zero Street and see all of our models we have in stock. Or give us a call at 479-434-5975. And you can check out our full inventory online at trailerhonda.net. And remember to please buy local.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! I'm alright. Nobody but about me. Why you got to give me a fight? Can't you just let it be? I'm alright.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
I invented my own kind of grass, too. Did you know that? Look at this. This is registered. Carl Spackler bench.
Oh, yeah. I've felt grass like this before. I've played on this.
This is a hybrid. This is a cross. A bluegrass, Kentucky bluegrass featherbed bench and Northern California sensimilla. The amazing stuff about this is that you can play 36 holes on it in the afternoon, take it home and just get stoned to the bejesus belt that night on this stuff.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Smackdown.
Some baseball stuff in just a moment. I'd neglected to get to something I wanted to touch on last segment. Jalen Catalon, who redshirt freshman defensive back for Arkansas, somebody that might be able to take some big strides in his second year with the program, is out for 4 weeks. Well, underwent surgery to repair meniscus on his knee, and again will be out for 4 weeks. So I would expect Jalen Catalon would have been able to compete for a starting safety position, but 4 weeks means he'd be able to come back to practice just before game 1 of the season. So might not see him out there, at least as a starter, early in the season. All right, baseball stuff to get to, and I do have a very bold prediction to make, and we can couple that Smackdown with how bad are the Pirates today.
Oh, man, how bad are they today?
Worse? How could they get any worse?
Can they get worse?
Sure they can get worse.
Somehow they managed
first,
to do that.
They get worse by losing, and that happened again yesterday.
No.
6-1 to the Cleveland Indians. Managed 5 singles and a double with no walks. So they are 4-16. I love these kind of stuff. That's 20 games the Pirates have played, and they are 10 games out of first place. They are also 5 games out of fourth place, which is the next closest team, the Cincinnati Reds. 4-16 is a 200 winning percentage, and that would be the lowest of all time. So keep it going, and that will happen today because the best starting pitcher in baseball, Cleveland's Shane Bieber, is going up against the Bucks. Bieber is ranked by MajorLeagueBaseball.com as the best starting pitcher in the sport. He gets swings and misses on 46.4% of his pitches that are swung at. Holds a league-low 130 earned run average, has allowed 26 base runners in 34 2/3 innings, and has struck out a league-high 54 batters out of 126 faced. So he's striking out like 40% of the batters that he's faced. So here's my bold prediction, Smackdown, for a game that will begin at 6:05 Central Time. In my hometown of Pittsburgh at PNC Park. And it's 2 days after we came very close to the first one of the season. The first no-hitter of the year will be thrown tonight by Shane Bieber of the Cleveland Indians. And that is your bold prediction for this afternoon.
We're going to hold you to it, all right?
I don't get anything if they do it. I don't get anything if JT wants me to be bold that they'll win. I'm not that stupid, JT. And I don't want them to win. They need to lose every single game to continue the hate love, and so we can also continue this How Bad Are the Pirates segment every single show. There was a first, well, not a first, but a first that happened in over 120 years when Manny Machado stepped to the plate in the 10th inning in San Diego against the Rangers and dropped this one.
Machado to deep left field. It is high, deep, and it is a grand slam to walk it off. Manny Machado is tonight's Padres hero.
was Don Orsillo, San Diego play-by-play television commentator, one of the best in the game.
It sounded like a barge went by.
That's right, didn't it? That's 3 games in a row that the Padres have hit a grand slam. That had not happened in the National League since 1895. That's really crazy. First of all, that a team in 1895 playing with a dead ball hit 3 grand slams in 3 games. But, yeah, I mean, it all started with the controversial grand slam hit by Fernando Tatis Jr. on, when was that? That was on Tuesday. That was, that was the last blow in a blowout game. The day before, it was Will Myers in the first inning that got them out to a 4-0 lead. And then yesterday, it's Machado with a walk-off grand slam. That's pretty exciting stuff. Grand slams in 3 consecutive games. And 6-3 win for the Pods in 10 innings. Tatis, by the way, hit his 12th homer. Leads all major leaguers. That's 12 home runs in 26 games.
He's been playing well.
Certainly has. Cubs and Cardinals split a doubleheader. Biggest thing was Craig Kimbrell striking out the side in the 7th inning of Game 2 to earn the save. Kimbrell had been awful up until that point, but looked a little bit more like what we are used to seeing. Craig Kimbrell with his time with the Red Sox and Atlanta Braves. And St. Louis top prospect Dylan Carlson has come up in the last week and a half, and he started very slow. 4 for 27 for Carlson, who's expected to be in center field for the Cardinals for a long, long time. And former Razorback and Fayetteville native Jalen Beeks closed down the Rays' 4-2 win against the Yankees last night. Came on in the 9th inning with a 4-2 lead, replacing Chaz Rowe, who had walked the first 2 batters. Beeks strikes out Miguel Andujar on 3 pitches, and then throws a wild pitch, putting the tying runs in scoring position, but finishes the game by striking out Tyro Estrada. Jalen Beeks now with 9 outings on the year, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 save, and a 4.02 earned run average. He has struck out 23 batters in 15 2/3 innings while walking only 3. Rays have won 4 straight, 10 of 11, but they're trailing 2-0 right now against the Yankees. And that's what's going on in baseball. I think we got a call right now. Robert in Fort Smith dialed us up. Hey, Robert, what's going on?
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Man, we're living the dream. It's almost the weekend.
I know. I am glad, Phil, that you don't want that nonsense on your show from your other people that you work in your business, because that show, I ain't going to talk bad, but it's nonsense. They're not serious, and I get it, but I'm just glad because no, we don't need that on this show. Y'all do a good job. Y'all got good facts, guests. And I like the guy from Nashville. Is it Bill? What's his name?
Yeah, Bill King.
He had his own show for a long time, unless Bill does, and he does really good on his show.
We strive for greatness here on Halftime.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, that's why we take your call every time you call in, Robert, because we strive for greatness.
Well, I'm way off of that, but I'm glad they'll take my call. But anyway, maybe my Dodgers will come around. We're doing okay.
You guys are doing all right. You got Kershaw going tonight. I like Clayton Kershaw. I think Kershaw's been pretty good this year.
And, hopefully we just don't end up like the Buffalo Bills. We get there and get beat again. So have a good one, guys.
All right, appreciate Robert. The phone call, Robert. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I've been on Ruskin and Zach a couple of times. I think we've had them on our show too.
You were on there when you catfished Ty.
Yeah, I think I fit in to the ethos at that moment. But hey, I mean, we goof around, we joke around just as much as anybody else.
That's true.
And I guess the only difference is we do 2 hours instead of 3. So maybe because of that, you're feeling that we're a little more serious. I'm not quite sure.
We strike that balance of sports, news, and entertainment, and then just us being goofballs.
Right. I mean, that's what sports radio is supposed to be about, right?
Yeah.
I thought it's supposed to be about all those things coming on at the same time. All right, so what do you want to give me if Bieber throws a no-hitter tonight?
Ooh. If Bieber
I have never predicted a no-hitter before and really felt like it could happen. Because, I mean, Shane Bieber has come out of nowhere and is having just the most incredible start to a season than anybody's had in years. Like, the last time anybody has had this many strikeouts in his first 5 starts of the year, the guy's name was Pedro Martinez.
Okay. What can you get beef tongue here in Arkansas?
Yeah, in fact, I could have gotten myself a La Lengua taco down the street after the show last night. I would eat beef tongue. I already told you that.
If there is a no hitter tonight, I'll come up to Fayetteville. We can do that La Lengua taco.
Ooh, all right. Oh, I am the biggest Shane Bieber fan right now in the history of
How about this?
Bieber fans.
Me and Matty T will come up there. We can do a whole show from. But the rest,
he's entering you this. He's entering you in this for himself, Matty T. I don't know if that's the direction you want to go.
How about if he throws a perfect game, Matty T has to do it?
I probably wouldn't mind, though. I may have eaten it before and didn't even know it.
54 strikeouts.
I'm only talking about cow tongue.
Oh.
I'm up against one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. In fact,
die.
they are the lowest scoring team in the sport. Fewest hits, lowest team batting average. No hitter.
Woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service. Or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites. Our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
Hey, this is David Owen with Ouachita Farms. We grow hemp in Central Arkansas and process it into full-spectrum CBD products. Ouachita Farms products are affordably priced and available online or conveniently located at nearly 200 stores across the state. All Ouachita Farms CBD products are tested at C-Pill Labs in Little Rock to ensure that you will always get what you expect. Find us online today and use this code at checkout.
Ouachita Farms! Go to ouachitafarms.com and use code WPS15 at checkout of your purchase.
Business owners, if your carpets and floors show the effects of too much foot traffic, call the professionals at your local Service Master Clean. Whether it's janitorial cleaning or specialty cleaning to eliminate dirt and grime from carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors, no job is too big or too small. Service Master Clean has been an industry leader for more than 60 years. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or ServiceMasterPC.com.
Summertime is here. Let Art's Barbecue and Burgers keep you out of the kitchen with their great barbecue and burgers. $1 off all burgers every Saturday. All you can eat catfish on Fridays. And don't forget the ribs, pork sandwiches, and all the sides. Art's Barbecue and Burgers is following all the health guidelines in keeping you safe. Dine in or drive through available Tuesday through Saturday. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, helping your summer to be better. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, next to Aaron's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
Football fans, the 2020 season is on. Get ready with Hooten's Arkansas Football. 416 pages. Hooten's wrote the book on football. The Razorbacks, Red Wolves, all the state colleges, and an in-depth preview on every high school team. Read about them all in Hooten's Arkansas Football. Your school, your state, your source. Hooten's Arkansas Football. Look for new Razorback coach Sam Pittman on the cover on newsstands now. Hooten's Arkansas Football.
Ever wonder just how far an extra mile really goes? Drive a Mercedes-Benz van and find out. Start with a network of over 250 authorized dealerships, backed by a sales force ready to help you with everything from customization to service on vans like the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter that's tailored to your lifestyle. With options like Blind Spot Assist and MBUX voice command for spoken directions, weather, and more.
The route is being calculated.
So whether you're enjoying life on the trail or working hard on the job, see how far an extra mile can really go by taking the first step into an authorized Mercedes-Benz van dealership today. Mercedes-Benz vans start at just $33,790, now with 0% APR financing for up to 60 months.
MSRP on a 2019 Sprinter van excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Options, model, availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details about costs and terms. Some equipment described as optional. APR valid on 2019 Sprinter vans, excluding cab chassis, only to qualified commercial customers exclusively through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services at participating dealers through August 31st, 2020.
This is ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP, at Matt Travis, and at Matt Jenkins 44.
No team has a better opportunity than Arkansas. So we ain't fearing nothing. We ain't scared. Like, we know what we up against, but we also know what we got. We got the wide receiver, running back position, dogs. Quarterback position, dogs. Like, we are ready, bro. Like, we ain't fearing nothing. We ready, bro.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Smackdown.
I love that soundbite from Mike Woods yesterday. And he echoes, I think, a lot of what we've been saying for the last few months. For your skill positions. And I hate the term skill position. Yeah. It's like playing the offensive line. Takes no skill. Really? No skill at all? Yeah, right. The hands positions, maybe the ball handling positions would be the right way to put it. You're good at these positions. This wide receiver group is ready to break out. And Mike Woods is just obviously a small part of it. But yeah, you do have dogs at these positions. I agree with him. We're gonna have to keep that. We're gonna have to keep that segment intro in for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely. And I made sure it wasn't wrestling because I know I rubbed y'all the wrong way for, God forbid, I put 2 wrestling rejoins in one show. So, my man, I had to put in Justin Timberlake for this one.
It may have only been 2, but it felt like a lot more. And God, they're long.
Because they're shut up, Matty.
You're not the least bit sensitive about it either, are you?
No, of course not. No. It is
Oh.
SummerSlam weekend, though, so I am.
Are you going to pay $45 for that?
Nope.
Does it come with your subscription?
It does come with your subscription.
Wouldn't you just be better off just subscribing instead of
I
paying
do
for
subscribe.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Then why would somebody pay $44 for it when they could just subscribe for the month?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Don't let Vince McMahon know that I'm on to him.
JT wanted to know if I've ever called a no-hitter. And I've told people about this, too. Like, I don't believe in the jinx. If a broadcaster says something about a pitcher throwing a no-hitter, that has nothing to do with whether the guy actually throws a no-hitter or not. If a teammate of that pitcher walks up to him and says, hey, man, great no-hitter you're working on, sure, that's a different thing. That's getting into the pitcher's head. If the pitcher hears what I say on the radio, that's his fault. He shouldn't be listening. So it's nothing that I could say. Have I ever called a no-hitter? Yes, I have. The last one would have been... one of the weirdest no-hitters I've ever seen. It was at the SEC tournament. It was Arkansas-Auburn. Arkansas threw a combined no-hitter and run ruled Auburn. I don't remember all the pitchers that threw, but I remember
wasn't that long ago, was it?
That was the 2017 season.
Yeah.
That was the last no-hitter I called. I've called 7 no-hitters in the minor leagues too, which some of them were complete games, some of them were combined. I did call one that was a range-shortened perfect game thrown by Martin Perez, who's now with the Boston Red Sox. So, I've called plenty of no-hitters. And I have let the listeners know late in the game that the pitcher has not allowed a base hit because that's my job to actually report what's happening while it's happening. So I have real-life experience that the broadcaster jinx does not exist. Just going to leave it at that, JT. Thanks.
Now, you've never, just to kind of go off JT's question, you've never called a walk-off home run, though, correct?
Not at Arkansas.
Not at Arkansas, okay.
For the Travelers, sure, but not with Arkansas. But I missed out on calling the one that Kerstad hit the last week this season before the shutdown, but I was standing there watching it. So
I remember at Dickey Stevens Park when you would go use the restroom that they pumped your play-by-play into the bathroom. Do they do that same thing at Bomb? So when you're going to the bathroom, you can still listen to you.
Yeah, I've always remembered that I'm speaking to people at one of their most vulnerable moments. This gets to what we were going to talk about later on with this Tom Brenneman situation. When the Travelers Park was first built in 2007, we did not pipe the broadcast in through the radio. You just did it through my broadcast unit. So anything that I said through the broadcast unit went into the bathrooms, whether there was a commercial or not.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, at that and in those days, Bill Valentine would come in and join me on the radio on Sundays, and you never knew what Bill was going to say, whether it was between innings or during the inning itself. This was the guy. This was the guy who ran the team and actually called his own team manager a stupid idiot on the radio. So you never knew it was going to happen. But then again, I mean, you're plugged into the wall, and anything you say goes into the bathroom. So that was like training for me to remember your microphone's always on, no matter if it really isn't.
That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Chandler asks a question about this NCAA Board of Governors decision to allow student athletes in the fall to get a blanket extra year of eligibility. But the sources have told media organizations that this is going to pass. So instead of any fall student athlete that opts out or has a season shortened because of the pandemic, it's all fall student athletes. Every football player, every volleyball player, every soccer player getting a blanket extra year of eligibility. So essentially then, instead of getting 5 years to complete the 4 seasons of eligibility, these athletes would get a 6th season to complete 5 seasons of on-field eligibility. And I would imagine the NCAA allows this to go through. It's up to the Board of Governors, and we know they're all, school administrators and conference commissioners and everything. This just seems to make so much sense. When you're walking into a season that's built on uncertainty, I can't see how you don't give another year of blanket eligibility, which then also leads to more issues with scholarships and roster size. So if you add another year of eligibility for these players, do you then have to add scholarships?
Right.
Do you have to add slots on the roster? Probably so.
Be interesting to kind of figure out, but the fact that they've already done it for the spring athletes, getting them another year of eligibility, pretty much you'd have to do it for the fall sports or all sports as they're putting it. So,
well, the difference is that the spring sports had their seasons shortened tremendously. Like less than half of the season was competed. So if the football, if a volleyball season, a soccer season, of a football season plays to its entirety, like makes it to the last week, and there's actually an NCAA championship or whatever it is, they still get that blanket year of eligibility. Everybody gets a red shirt. It's like the NCAA puts on one giant red shirt for everyone, and it does make sense. It does make sense. There's so much uncertainty with what's about to happen that I think it would make a lot of sense for right now to let these athletes and the administrators know what the situation is going to be next year. You're going to have to add scholarships, though, if you add if you're giving them that extra year of eligibility. These things have to work in tandem.
It's going to be interesting to kind of see what to figure out. We got another text in here from JT in Hot Springs saying, when has the NCAA ever done to make things complete sense? So, which, I mean, this isn't really a Mark Emmert decision, more or less. This is just more of a Board of Governors decision. So, and those up to this point have made fairly good decisions up to this point. So, this should carry on and move forward, and then we'll just deal with the repercussions later.
All right.
We got a giveaway.
Yeah, we do have a giveaway. We have their first winner of the Hardee's Lunch Bunch. So who gets the free burgers?
Well, who's going to be the most popular guy at their work?
Well, before we tell you that, make sure this isn't just a one-time deal. We're going to continue this thing going forward for the foreseeable future. So make sure you head to hitthatline.com. You can enter in this every day, once per day, every day. So it'll feed you and your office from our friends over at Hardee's in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley. They'll take care of your lunch for your little office bunch. That is the Hardee's Lunch Bunch. Head to hitthatline.com, and you can enter once a day, and there will be a new winner every week, every Thursday at this same time here on the greatest radio show in the state of Arkansas. That's Halftime. The winner this week, do I have the drum roll music pulled? There it is right there.
That was close.
Had to find it. And the first winner of our
Hardee's choked up over
I'm
it.
getting
Wow.
emotional over here. Gavin Orsben of Americold Logistics in Fort Smith. Gavin Orsben of Americold Logistics in Fort Smith. You've just won Hardee's lunch for you and your bunch.
So make sure you let us know when you're going to have it so we can come over for lunch, too.
Exactly. Yes, that's the only caveat to this deal. We'll be in touch here soon, Gavin, to get Hardee's lunch for you and your office crew over at Americold Logistics in Fort Smith. So congratulations to him. And we'll announce another winner next Thursday, so get your entries in.
All right, updating a couple of scores that are out there as of right now. NBA playoffs, third period. The Heat 71, the Pacers 59. Miami has a 1-0 lead in that series. Later on, it's the Thunder and the Rockets, the Magic and the Bucks, and the Lakers trying to bounce back after that shocking Game 1 loss to Portland. Baseball, Yankees up on the Rays 2-0. The Phillies and the Blue Jays in the fourth inning, 2-1 Philadelphia. White Sox right now can't stop hitting home runs. 3-0 over the Tigers at the end of one inning. And speaking of the end, we've got the end of halftime coming up after the break. And it's halftime homework with Dumbass of the Week mixed together. And yes, it is the one and only Tom Brenneman. Greatest/worst home run call in the history of the sport.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above can make that driveway and fence look brand new with a good power washing. You don't have to put up with those unwanted pests either. Call today and get started with the flea, tick, and mosquito treatment to start enjoying the outdoors again. More than just a mowing service. They're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea, tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Gelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there is a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Hi folks, John Collins with Randall Ford of Fort Smith. If you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, you need to come see me today. We have access to hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. All makes and models available. If we don't have it, we'll find it for you. We have special financing and warranties available on all vehicles, plus up to 90 days deferred payments on select models. All vehicles are cleaned and UV sanitized to protect our customers. Before you pay too much for your next vehicle, come see me personally and let me save you money.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
This is ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
Hi, huddle up, over here.
Wait for me, wait for me. Oh, cool, this is my first huddle. Okay, so what do you guys really think of Chandler? Phoebe, you know what you're doing, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, Joey's gonna catch it, and you and I are gonna block. What's block? Phoebe, I thought you said you know what you were doing. I thought you meant in life. Break.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
Got an interesting question here from JP and Alma about this extra year of eligibility, fall blanket eligibility. Felipe Franks could apply for a 6th year of eligibility because of the injury from last year.
Yes.
So let's say that that's the case. Let's say that that's what he wants to do. So then he could end up with a 7th year of eligibility.
3 years of Felipe Franks, that'd be fine. I'd be cool with that.
Boy, that would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it?
Be an interesting turn of events, but that's very much at play.
Has anybody ever had 7 years of eligibility in college sports?
Oh, Lordy.
Gosh, I mean, it's crazy when you see somebody that's got 6, but a 7th?
I feel like there hadn't have been with 6 years of eligibility just because of once you get that 6th year, I mean, if you get hurt, I mean, it's just your SOL at that point, so.
Guess so. Yeah, that's a good question, JT, or JP. I mix up our texters every once in a while.
Your JPs and your JTs and everybody.
I want to thank Wheels RV for sponsoring Halftime. They're 5 miles west off exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale, right underneath the water tower in Tiny Town. WheelsRV.net, the website. Been in business over 20 years in Northwest Arkansas. They stock more travel trailers than ever before right now. Top brands like Grand Design, Forest River Vibe, KZ Sportsman, and they've got the Paradigm fifth wheel. That's the hottest new fifth wheel in the industry from Alliance RV. Plus, Wheels RV is the only dealer in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley that will give you a lifetime warranty. They've got factory-trained and certified technicians getting your RV on the road. New paint, collision center, too. And that's Wheels RV under the Tawny Town Water Tower, wheelsrv.net. Get you a great dollar for trades, best deals on new RVs as well in Northwest Arkansas, Wheels RV. All right, let's see. Do we have a new show coming up in the future? No, I don't think there's a new show coming up in the future. I haven't heard anything else, Greg. That's it. And, all right, I do want to get into this last thing here, and we're combining halftime homework with Dumbass of the Week.
It's time to present the most prestigious award in all of sports talk radio.
You're a dumbass. You're an ass.
If I had mistletoe, I'd kiss you.
If I had missile foot, it'd be in your ass. Leisure suits are for dumbasses. The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass. And I'm about to be sleep kicking your ass. You're lucky this table is standing between my foot and your ass. Just answer the question, dumbass.
Ladies and gentlemen, now presenting your halftime Dumbass of the Week.
You just set a record for most times ass was said in about a 20-second segment, man. That's well done.
Yeah,
that's
that
well
was
done.
Ass-tastic.
I don't even know.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm more impressed with that or the music that I put underneath this.
Epic.
Thing. It's a big deal.
There's two aspects to this. There's the dumbass moment of Tom Brenneman doing this yesterday when he didn't realize he was still on the air.
The capitals of the world.
Yeah, it's truly shocking to hear anybody use that term in any sort of conversation these days. That's just
that's one of those that got phased out, you know,
for good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up there with the N-word, with some of the worst words you could call somebody.
Absolutely.
There's hate behind that word when it's used. And Brenneman he's just got to be a lot smarter than that. This guy's been in broadcasting for 30 years. His dad, he grew up in the industry. His father is one of the greatest baseball play-by-play men of all time. And Marty Brenneman also would toe the line sometimes, like we do, but I don't think it ever came to the point of where his career was in jeopardy in the way that Brenneman's career is. And I think Brenneman's career is over. I think it's going to be over. And I think he knew that too. When he issued the apology on the air last night, he was forced to issue the apology. I want to play this whole thing in its entirety. It is so awkward, but it also includes, I think, one of the most amazing moments in the history of broadcasting, which is an apology home run call at the same time. Get a load of it.
I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of. If I have hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith.
All right, now I want to pause it right there. That's always the excuse used. You know, calling yourself a man of faith at that moment does not work. This does not filter into anything that has to do with what you said.
That's how a man of faith talks?
No, exactly. I feel like the baseball gods were listening to him at that moment because not a split second after he breaks out the faith card, this.
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game.
In the middle of one of the most shocking moments that I've ever heard, in the middle of a mea culpa apology on the air, the home run happens. And look, this is the other side of greatest calls in the history of the sport. This is the most awkward call I've ever heard in the history of the sport. And I just thought, like, all right, I want to play this home run one more time and then compare it to the real greatest calls in the history of the sport for home runs.
I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again.
No, you're not.
I don't know if it's going to be for the Reds. I don't know if it's going to be for my bosses at Fox. I want to apologize for the people who signed my paycheck, for the Reds, for Fox Sports Ohio, for the people I work with, for anybody that I've offended here tonight. I can't begin to tell you how deeply sorry I am. That is not who I am and never has been. And I'd like to think maybe I could have some people that could back that up.
Boy, I mean, you could hear it in his voice. This is somebody that understands what's about to happen, that there's almost no coming back. There's no coming back from that. No matter how many people back up his claims of being a good person. And I know people who know Tom Brenneman well, and they would say that. I don't think there's coming back from this.
There isn't.
It's true on-air Jim Brockmeyer-styled self-immolation that I've never heard before. But it's also one of the greatest calls in the history of the sport. Can we compare it to this?
Men on early. And a runner at third, nobody out in the first and didn't score. Second and third, one out in the second and didn't score. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game.
What a call by Jack Buck. The famous go crazy call. You want to put that next to Brenneman's call, see what it sounds like?
You know what you really notice there after you play that is the lack of actual crowd noise in his call, too, you know?
That's
right,
yeah.
Because there wasn't anybody there. You want to compare, and there's a drive to left field. It is going to be a home run with this.
Not taking any chances. Locks in without too big of a lead in second, but he'll be running like the wind if Thompson hits one. Blanca throws. There's a ball strike. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants win the pennant. 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 Bobby Thompson hits into the very back of the left field stand. The Giants win the pennant, and they're going crazy. They're going crazy.
Let's compare that one with this.
I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game.
Doesn't even sound like sports there for a moment. Can we put
he
that
knows
one up
that's his last home run call ever.
And it's the last call he ever made.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
It's the last call I'm ever.
It was the last call he ever made. Yes, absolutely. Can we compare it with this one?
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for
Gibson, and the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw.
You've had two people just text in said we need to add one call to that greatest call list.
Which one?
And it's one that comes from you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
I don't know if we have that. Do we have that in here that we can?
That's not a home run call. I was just doing home run calls, and this I don't want to make this about me.
I know that, but
I want to make sure that I also impart the idea that I feel for Tom Brenneman.
Absolutely.
I feel for him. This is the end of a career. Who knows where he can go next? But feeling bad for him and understanding that human beings make mistakes does not mean that he gets to just have a suspension and come back from this.
No.
There are people, there are Reds fans, there are baseball fans that would never root for that team again if he is still doing the games. And you could hear you could hear in his voice that he's crushed. I think you can hear in his voice he realized what he did.
Yep.
You know, but in broadcasting, we are held to a higher standard than in day-to-day life. That's why the FCC doesn't allow us to say certain 7 words. We have to be held to a higher standard. And on National Radio Day, all of us who are in radio understand that. And there's no doubt Tom Brenneman knew that before what happened yesterday. But, boy, he is now the #1 example of the higher standard we are held to in the industry of broadcasting. And that is halftime for today. Good to be with you guys. For Matty T and for SmackDown, we'll wrap the week up tomorrow. So get up, get out, and get better.